The federal government assured us that there was zero risk involved, that it would be a surgical operation. They would get in, they would build the salt dome, and they would be out 5 years later, some time frame around there. My job was to figure out if they were telling the truth. In 2011 in southeast Louisiana, an underground storage cavern filled with oil, forgot my L there. Oh well, I can't seem to edit it, I'm sorry, started to leak. It's self-healing, but it can in fact go bad, and I will show you a video where one does. They had 750 million gallons of oil stored, and they were worried it would escape, and they would have a 750 million gallon oil spill. Not to mention, they'd rather sell it and get the money. The federal government decided that the Mississippi Salt Dome, the Richton Salt Dome, which is very close to the Pascagoula River, would be the cheapest one to build. And they were looking at the federal dollars they would have to spend to replace this leaking salt dome. So they decided to create a new salt dome storage area and transfer this oil to the Richton Salt Dome. All they needed from us, South Mississippi, was to borrow 50 million gallons of water every day from the Pascagoula River over the course of years. That's all they needed from us. They couldn't even understand why we didn't want to do it. It would take years to hollow out the storage area, and by that time we thought even if nothing bad happened, the river would be dead. So we were assured that after it was hollowed out, everything would be restored to its pristine conditions. It was only a temporary intrusion. They weren't going to be using 50 million gallons of water every single day, only for years. Whoops. But what you did before with the population, how you act your entire life, what you did before counts. You may or may not know that the federal government tested nuclear weapons on the surface of atolls in the Pacific Ocean. You may or may not know that they moved that above-ground testing to an underground testing site in Nevada, called the Nevada Test Site. But few people know that they detonated 2 nuclear bombs in Mississippi. But the Mississippi people in South Mississippi know. There is a Tatum Salt Dome, 28 miles southwest of Hattiesburg, Mississippi. The area is still surrounded by a chain link fence, just like in off of Niagara Falls. In October 22nd, 1964, a large nuclear bomb was exploded in the center of the salt dome, creating a massive cavern very quickly. It did its job. And the purpose was just to build this cavern very, very quickly, because they wanted to do a second nuclear test inside of a cavern. They wanted to find out if there was any seismic signal when they did the second test. Months later, the temperatures in the cavern were still over 400 degrees Fahrenheit. Puppy was hot. Looks like I spelled Fahrenheit wrong. I'm sorry. The residents nearby have been told they would hardly notice it. The people right on top of who lived right on top of it had been moved, not a whole lot of them, and then residents pretty nearby were told, don't worry, we're going to explode a nuclear weapon, but you'll hardly feel it. So next you're going to watch a video of the Tatum Salt Dome and the people's reactions to what they hardly felt and what it changed South Mississippi citizens' view of interactions with the federal government.